It's time to get your geek on with Dave Vermillion.
Ah, yes. We are back. We are back. We are back. It is time to get your geek on, and I am Dave Vermillion. Welcome to the show here on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. If you're listening to us live on the radio, we appreciate that. If you're listening to us on 9:30 amtheanswer.com via the wonder that is streaming, we appreciate that also. If you're listening to us in the future on the podcast, you can find it at 9:30 amtheanswer.com. Please send us the winning lottery numbers. Go back in time, get in your TARDIS. That would be appreciated as well. Believe it or not, I actually had somebody that sent me a message. They actually listened to the podcast on Tuesday, and they sent me the Powerball numbers from Saturday night. I'm like, great. That was
a little late.
That was awesome. Yeah, a little late there, but we appreciate the effort. Oh, goodness. All right, so we are here. What is the show about? Get Your Geek On is the only AM talk radio show in the United States that speaks geek. We are going to talk Star Wars, Star Trek, DC, Marvel, video gaming, and tonight we are going to talk about monsters. We're going to talk horror. We're going to talk slasher flicks. We're going to talk about all things that are just a little bit dark because October is literally right around the corner. I'll get to that in a second. For everybody who's watching on Facebook Live, hi. There we are. You'll notice I have a guest. Don't worry. She talks, I promise. It'll just be a little bit later on. Alrighty. See, geek is now, it's the mainstream. Geek is not what it was 20 or 30 years ago. Now you have Wall Street investment bankers that are wearing Avengers cufflinks and Wonder Woman ties. And you go down the Riverwalk or you go down anywhere now and you'll see somebody wearing a geeky style shirt. I mean, I'm wearing a Spurs t-shirt right now. It's an 8-bit. It's a geeky Spurs t-shirt. I mean, you got to love it. It's very much in. And if you're going to have talk shows for how to manage your 401k and gardening shows and plumbing shows and automotive shows, and then by golly, it's time we had one for the geeks out there. This is episode number 14, and tonight, Lori Gonzalez will be on here to talk about MonsterCon. I'm officially dubbing it, even if it's already been dubbed, the unofficial kickoff to the Halloween season. We're going to talk about MonsterCon coming up. I have some Stranger Things news. If you're not watching Stranger Things, I don't know where you've been. You need to watch Stranger Things. I've got some news. We're going to talk about that. Star Wars news. Bob Iger, the Disney CEO, has decided to start talking again, and what he said is going to be rather fascinating. We also have some video game news as well, including something about Grand Theft Auto 6, not GTA 5, which is still tearing up the charts as one of the most popular video games ever in the history of ever. But before I can get started, I have to go through my checklist and make sure I have everything I need in order to run a successful show. The first of which is, do I have something to drink? I do not. I have something. I really did. I always have something. Water, juice, something to get me through. I had a Whataburger cup right here. I picked it up, and when you know it, like the top popped off and the whole thing spilled onto the desk. Thankfully, not the soundboard, or else we'd be in some serious trouble.
Or the engineer.
Yeah, or I'd be in more serious trouble. But no, I got it all cleaned up. I don't have a drink now, so I cannot guarantee that this show will be a quality show. I'm saying this as my guest is here right next to me. That's awesome. All right, but I do have a back scratcher because if you're going to do a show, you got to have a back scratcher because there's nothing worse than having an itch right in the middle of your back while you're doing a show. I actually did this with another guest. I had James Arnold Taylor on once, and it was right there, and it was driving me crazy. So I always have a back scratcher. And if you're going to do any type of a geeky show whatsoever, you got to have a lightsaber.
Of course.
I think that's required for anybody else who wants to follow us, and kind of get on the bandwagon and have your own geeky show. If you don't have a lightsaber, I mean, what are you doing? I mean, come on. I have All Blue here. I actually have All Blue autographed. If you want to take a look at that one, Mark Hamill, Ian McDiarmid, Tim Rose, who played Admiral Akbar in Salacious Crumb, cool. John Jackson Miller, who recently just finished a new Star Trek book. So you don't have to have, it's my Old Blue. You go get your own, but that's but that's mine. All right, so I have mostly everything that I need. I want to do a little bit of show news first. You may have noticed if you're on Facebook Live that this is clearly not Goose. You introduce yourself.
I'm Kelly.
Yeah, so this is Kelly.
I resemble nothing of Goose.
Well, they're over there. I'm over here, but they're over there.
How you doing?
Yeah, he's not even close to Goose, but that's
But I'm a seat filler, so as you said earlier.
Well, yeah, but we weren't on camera then, so
that's true.
It's okay. No. Kelly, he's a quality guy, quality sound engineer. a bit of a geek himself, so that certainly helps. Like we all are, everyone's a bit of a geek. But
geek.
I actually don't know where Goose is. This came as a surprise. I like walk in the building and Kelly says, "So I'm doing your show tonight," and I'm like, "What?"
Yeah, I don't know what happened to him. I have no idea.
Did
I mean, he hasn't called, he hasn't emailed, nothing. Nothing.
Like, well, what about station heads? Which
They don't know either.
So we really nobody here has any idea where Goose is.
Not right now. I mean, he's like vanished off the earth.
Okay, I know what my listeners are going to think, and they're going to think that after last week's beef, where I threw my, I actually threw my back scratcher at him. He played the Star Trek theme like 7 times. I'm serious. I think it was 7 times, and that was to get back at me. You may think that I had something to do with this. I don't. I swear to God, I don't know where Goose is. So Goose, if you're listening, if you're out there, could you call in?
Yeah.
Let us know where you are, man. I mean, this is kind of creepy.
Well, make sure he's still alive.
Yeah, that'd be nice too.
I mean,
what about Jenny? Is his lady?
She hasn't called.
She hasn't called either.
No.
Okay, so we're gonna wing it tonight. No Goose for the foreseeable future, I guess. I don't know. We'll find out where Goose is. So we'll figure that one out. October, right around the corner, we are declaring it Alamo City Comic Con month. The month of August was San Antonio month. I had local guests on. Okay, so this one's spilling over a little bit, but we had local guests on all of August. And October, I have more guests coming on, but they're all related to the Alamo City Comic Con. I'll have Tim Rose, who played Admiral Akbar, will be on the show with us. Jeremy Bullock, who played Boba Fett, will be on with us. Amy Jo Johnson, the Pink Power Ranger, is excited and looking forward to being on the show. Cool. Clearly, she doesn't know who we are if she's that excited about it. And we will have cosplayers as well in studio. I'm going to have cosplayers in studio, so you'll want to Facebook Live that one to talk about cosplaying today and what it's like and the ups, the downs, the photo ops, the hospital visits, the harassment, comes with it, that sort of thing. So, so October is jam packed, man. I mean, we're gonna rock the month of October. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Let's see here. And speaking of October, it's time I shut up for a while and introduce my guest. Lori Gonzalez is here with me in studio. She is the founder, the tyrant, the dictator, the benevolent Grand Poobah,
the matriarch
of MonsterCon. And MonsterCon, I am dubbing it the officially unofficial kickoff of Halloween season here in San Antonio. Massive convention, and we're going to welcome on Lori Gonzalez.
Hi, guys.
I know it's a little weird having this theme playing for
You should have dug up Project Terror.
Oh, yeah, or Thriller. I should have done Thriller.
No, Project Terror, San Antonio.
Oh, yeah. Okay, well, that was... All right, so...
I can play that at my store, and people will come from all over. I hear it. They heard it.
All right, so what is MonsterCon?
MonsterCon is a concept. 5 years ago, we started our first show. Our sponsors are Wonderland Mall of the Americas. They give us a venue in exchange for it's a partnership. A lot of families, it's very hard to afford going to a Comic-Con. Between your parking, your door, etc., it's very hard.
Very true.
When we did our first MonsterCon, it was to have an event where families with children could come, could see, get the taste of a Comic-Con without having the impact of that dollar. So that was our first time we did MonsterCon, and lo and behold, 6,000 people in one weekend. We were not expecting it.
6,000?
In one weekend, the very first one. It went viral that. We did a zombie walk down at First Friday. Only supposed to be 25 people. The police were called. The street was shut down. At our count, by the time the applications were done, were 250 people showed up in zombie costumes.
My God.
We had, if you go on YouTube, the video has a Pied Piper in a kilt. He's leading the zombies down to the Blue Star.
Wow.
I thought I was going to be arrested when the police showed up, but no, they wanted pictures with the zombies.
Oh, wow.
So that was 5 years ago. So what's it like? What's it like now?
It's grown. It is grown. We are no longer in a small section of the mall. We took over the whole mall.
Wow. And
so in front of Santico's Bijou, we got MonsterCon Art Walk. I'm sorry, and it's great artists, and they're going to have all horror themed art. Upstairs we have Practical Magic, which is a holistic show, but there's going to be tarot readers and witches. And then downstairs is all MonsterCon, and we've got guests from Texas Chainsaw Massacre showing up this year.
Ooh, who's coming? Who's coming?
John Dugan, Terry McGinnis, and we've also got Ed Gein.
Oh.
We've got the Hare Krishna zombie from Dawn of the Dead. We've got Parrish Randall, who's a great favorite here in Texas with horror movies.
Wow.
We've got authors like Tim Miller, who writes some really gory horror.
Oh, nice. Everyone loves a good bloodbath.
So there's a lot of authors, there's a lot of artists, there's a lot of merchandise, collectibles. It's just, at last count, I think we're at 125 vendors.
125 vendors.
125 vendors.
And that includes the artists, or is that separated from? So
that's separated from that
So
show.
in addition to the art walk,
yes,
we have 100. Oh my Lord! This is going to be massive.
It's going to be massive.
You're going to shut down the mall.
Actually, I've been told by security, because I never leave the show once it starts, the parking is gone around the mall, and people are parking at Office Depot and down the street.
Holy cow! Mm-hmm. Okay, and for those who may not know, Wonderland Mall is right there. It's Fredericksburg and
410.
410 I-10. It's
yes,
right behind the Dave and Buster. Well, it's behind the Target, which is behind the Dave and Buster's.
Yes.
I think I got the order right there. Yeah, Dave and Buster's, then Target, then the mall. Okay,
it's real. You've got it. There's free admission, free parking. What more do you want? And dress up in costume.
100% free.
100% free.
Wow. Are there any going to be like major cosplayers that are coming in that you've invited, or is it just?
It's all local.
It's really just anybody and everybody who wants
anybody and everybody. And the difference on horror cosplayers from Comic-Con cosplayers is they're not pretty pose. They're in character. So if you've got Jason there, Jason is Jason.
Oh, my God.
If you've got Freddy, he's going to be waving his claws at you, and they're all in character.
Well, if I've got Freddy, though, then I should be asleep if I'm seeing him.
Oh, no, he'll we have a girl that comes in dressed as the angel from Doctor Who.
Yes, the Weeping Angel.
The Weeping Angel. She has those poor ladies at Burlington. Every time she goes up to the window and freezes in front of it, you just see them. There's just like a mass migration away from that window, from that store window.
I think it'd be really cool. We should get a picture. Somebody should be sleeping on a bench when Freddy walks up and just pose for pictures. They're just claws out over that person with the bench. That'd be, oh my God.
Well, I mean, it's everything from, I've seen a 7-foot Frankenstein. We end up with Jack Skellington on stilts. We end up with, oh my God, the Pinhead one year showed up on stilts.
Oh wow.
He was a stilt walker. The mall walkers, they show up in the mornings. It was hilarious because he's walking behind him dragging this big giant knife, and they're just walking faster.
Oh my God.
Some good exercise on that.
Yeah, you're going to get your cardio in, that's for sure.
Oh, it's some great video.
So what do you think? Is it fair to call MonsterCon the official, unofficial kickoff to Halloween?
We did that on purpose. We do it every year on purpose. We try to be the official kickoff for Halloween.
So I'm not original at all. Man, I thought I was the first. Oh, damn it.
There's a lot that goes on in San Antonio in October. And by doing this at the last weekend in September, everybody has a chance to, we're getting ready. We got the costumes ready. We're diving into this.
That's true.
Doing test runs.
And you know it's getting ready to be a Halloween season when you can already see Christmas decorations up at Walmart. That's when you know that Halloween's getting to be here. That's... So let me ask you regarding the horror genre. Is there a movie or a moment in a movie that really got to you? I mean, for me, it's The Exorcist. I mean, that movie, I cannot watch The Exorcist in a dark room. I can't do it. But what's yours?
Mine would have to be Alfred Hitchcock, The Birds.
Oh, yes.
Have you ever been down in the Riverwalk with those grackles?
I'm not going again. not anymore. Thanks for that. That's... Yeah, with that Tippi Hedren was in that one, and I forget who the male actor, the guy.
And that was what was amazing about Hitchcock. It's all mental. It's all suggestive. It's not actual blood and gore. But yeah, now you walk on the Riverwalk, you look up in the trees, and you see the birds. You're like, yeah, look, let's go inside.
I was just talking to my wife about this because it was on one of the Stars or Flicks or Showtime network channels, whatever it was, and I was telling her what makes the movie really awesome is the end. They just leave. And you never know why the birds are attacking. They just leave at the end, and you're like, are they coming back? This isn't Birdemic. What's going on here? Which we'll get into Birdemic some other time. That's a horror movie for a different reason. That's, yeah. My favorite, I love Rear Window for Hitchcock. Yes. Rear Window was, man.
That's what I was going to say.
With Jimmy Stewart and Grace Kelly. That was, God.
Hitchcock was the king.
Oh, he was incredible.
My mother had clear shower curtains for years. Clear shower curtains and they were locked, and she wasn't taking any chances.
Oh, okay, yeah. So, but if you could be a character in a horror movie, if you could put yourself in a horror movie, what type of horror movie first? Because there's different subgenres of horror, but what character in a subgenre movie would you be?
Brides of Dracula.
You'd be a Bride of Dracula?
A Bride of Dracula.
Ooh, what's up with what's the Drac? What has he gotten you all Twitter-pated about?
I've just always been in love with Dracula the character, and they've come out with some amazing movies in the years. I mean, my heart belongs to the very first original Dracula. But over the years, they've gotten sexier.
So Gary Oldman really does it for you, huh?
Yeah.
I have to admit, that's not one of Keanu Reeves' better roles, but Gary Oldman and Winona Ryder. I mean, what more do you need? You have a favorite Dracula? Other than, I mean, it doesn't get much better than the original.
Yeah, I would
Dracula,
have to say the original.
The original Dracula.
Yeah. I was a child when I saw that. And, in those days, you had 3 channels. Mm-hmm. You had a butter knife. You had rabbit ears.
Yeah, the remote control was kicking the smallest person in the room and saying, hey, turn the knob.
Actually, I was the remote control.
That'll do it. So what other shows do you have coming up? I understand you do more than one show.
We have at Wonderland Mall of the Americas, organized by my group, 17 shows a year.
Whoa, what?
17 shows a year.
Okay, well, there's only, I'm counting here, there's only 12 months.
Okay, so what happened was Wonderland Mall of the Americas had this market days, and they decided to let go of that program. And they asked us if we would like it. And I said, yes, certainly, but I'm going to nerd it out. So for 12 days in the year, we nerd the mall out once a month. So coming up here, we're going to have Monster Mash in October. And then in November, we're doing Charlie Brown because it's an excuse to dress up in Charlie Brown costumes and run around with Snoopy. In December, we have Nerdtacular, which is a holiday bazaar for nerds, dorks, and geeks.
Nice.
Because we're really hard to shop for.
That's true. It's impossible.
I got one time as a Mother's Day present from my daughter, a Leech Woman doll from Puppet Master, and you would have thought, it was the most amazing thing. And all the other moms are like flowers and candy. No, I had the Leech Woman doll from, I was, oh, wow.
I'd like a sonic screwdriver. If we're making Christmas lists out now, a sonic screwdriver would be really nice to have. I've actually seen one at the Think Geek store here at North Star. It's a remote control.
It's a remote control. I saw it. Yeah, it's on my list.
All right. Well, I can't wait for MonsterCon. I mean, it's going to be fantastic. It's going to be huge.
Oh,
it's
no.
going to be awesome.
Huge
is
hitting in January.
What's in January?
Hogwarts Arts and Crafts Show.
No kidding.
There are 8,000 people on Facebook have liked that event right now.
8,000?
2,000. No, it's all 3,000 people have said they are going. 8,000 have liked it. And there are 2,000 invites on it. So right now, that is the biggest event we've ever had blow up our Facebook.
Holy
we did
cow.
it a couple of weeks ago, and we had no idea that the turnout was going to be that huge. And they showed up in robes, wands. They showed up. Malfoy was walking around. There was a Dumbledore.
Oh, my God. Alrighty. But MonsterCon is going to be Friday, Saturday, Sunday?
No,
Saturday,
it's only
Sunday?
Saturday and Sunday.
Well, Saturday and Sunday,
Yes.
Open to close?
Saturday and Sunday, it'll start at 10 o'clock. It'll run to 9 o'clock. We follow mall hours. Generally, it does die down around 8 o'clock.
Okay.
The adult costume contest will be Saturday night. We have kids contests, adults costume contests, that both on Saturday and Sunday. On Sunday at 2 o'clock, we're going to have a panel for behind the scenes of Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Ooh. Mm-hmm. Okay, all right, I'm there. I'm sold. I'm sold. I'm there. Alrighty, so that'll be MonsterCon. It's going to be fantastic. It's going to be huge. Lori, I want to thank you for coming on, taking the time out of your busy day.
Thank you.
To come out here. I'm looking forward to it. This is great. It's going to be
come
chills.
on. Yeah, we've even got MonsterCon bingo going on.
Oh, my God, I am so
We've got movie bingo,
this is awesome.
horror movie bingo going on.
Outstanding. All right, well, Lori, thanks very much for coming on. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. So that was Lori Gonzalez from MonsterCon. I'm looking forward to like everything now. I'm looking forward to MonsterCon, and I'm looking forward. The Harry Potter thing's gonna be awesome. My wife is gonna go bonkers for that. I just know it. All right. Well, let me segue here real quick while I have a few minutes into some Stranger Things news. If you're not watching Stranger Things, which in and of itself is an extremely creepy show, it's only 8 episodes long in its first season. But from what I've heard, sadly I didn't verify this, but I have read somewhere that more people are watching Stranger Things than watching House of Cards. And Angela's nodding furiously at me, so I know that I'm right. That never argue with a woman. The woman's right. I'm right. That's That's a first. Probably never happen again. So it's set in the 80s. It's very 80s. And I mean like wood paneling on the walls, and you got the thick carpet, and of course nobody has cable TV, and it's, there are no smartphones and no internet, and that sounds kind of nice right about now. It's no social media. All you had to worry about were the Russians nuking us. That's all you had to worry about. And Red Dawn took care of that, so we're okay. But Stranger Things is a hit show. It's about these kids. It kind of reminds me like the Goonies crossed with E.T. And so they won an Emmy, or I think they just won all the Emmys. They just backed a dump truck up to the kid actors and said, here are all the Emmys, and just gave them to them. And so the kids decided to celebrate by passing out these brown paper lunch bags to the celebrities in the audience. I mean, these are huge. It's Tina Fey is there, and you've got all these celebrities, and they're all in these wonderful gowns, and here come the kids passing out these brown paper bags with peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, apples, cookies, and juice boxes. And then, and there's a handwritten note from Jimmy Kimmel's mom in each bag reminding them to have fun and, quote, don't get drunk. And wouldn't you know it, people went nuts. No pun intended. Oh. People went crazy in a bad way. People were slamming the quality of the sandwiches. Saying that, the bread was really dry, and I don't know what the jam is, like raspberry or something. That people were like, I'm like, are you kidding me? It's a bit. They're having fun. It's Night of the Emmys as these kids passing out lunch. Come on. But there were all these tweets about people complaining about the quality. I'm so sorry it wasn't foie gras and caviar. My bad. It wasn't lobster prima dor. My goodness. But no, they were actually slamming the quality of the sandwiches. And during the event, while they're passing these out, Jimmy Kimmel made fun of people with a peanut allergy, saying, raise your hand if you have a gluten allergy, which peanut butter and all that. And Jimmy Kimmel said, I just wanted America to see which of their favorite celebrities are the most annoying. Okay, now that's funny. That's okay, because, the whole gluten-free, Hollywood's weird. Okay, I get that. But then he continued and said, if you're allergic to peanuts, I guess this is goodbye, because we could only afford one EpiPen. Yeah, that kind of set some people off there, because the EpiPen thing it's a big thing right now, because the cost has gone up, 85,000% in like 2 days or something crazy.
$600 for two.
For two EpiPens, where it used to be like $85 for a couple, something like that. And then of course people yell, "You're making fun of people with allergies," and what if somebody in the audience was allergic? And I'm like, then you say you don't want one? I mean, not everybody got one. Of course, they had a limited number. They put it to, they gave it to the most famous celebrities, of course, because the camera would be on them, and they passed it out to people on the aisle seats. I'm like, then don't take one. Tell them, but the peanut dust could get it's peanut butter. There's no dust. There's no dust. It's not like they're blowing peanuts into your face. They're not throwing peanuts to the crowd or anything. People actually actively complain, and it caused a bit of a firestorm from people complaining about the quality of these sandwiches. And then about, he's making fun of people with peanut allergies. See, this is what's wrong with America right now.
I'm PC.
I know. It's so over the top. How about you just shut up, you take the bag, you smile, and then you stick it under your seat if you don't want it. I mean,
pass it down.
Oh, yeah, pass it to the next person. Somebody's going to be hungry. I mean, well, I know what the ladies' complaints is that, look, you have to squeeze yourself into that gown, and if you eat anything or if you smell something, you might gain a calorie off that, and your gown will pop. I understand that part, but really, I mean, it's too much.
Why not keep it as a collector's item?
Oh, yes. Or
think about that.
Put it up on eBay.
Oh,
actually, that's what I was thinking.
Put it up on eBay.
You're going to eat the sandwich.
Exactly.
Or you know what you do? I swear, this is what I would have done if I were some big-time celebrity. Let's say, for some strange reason, I'm Tina Fey. Keep your jokes to yourself, okay? Look, because I don't look that good in a pair of heels. I really don't. Okay, ignore that part. You know what I would do? I would get rid of the food. If you don't want the food, that's fine. Get rid of the food. But I would sign the brown paper bag. I would autograph it, and I'd get every celebrity around me to autograph the brown paper bag and put it up on eBay and give the proceeds to charity.
There you go.
You know how many people would pay serious money for that? A brown paper bag handed up by the Stranger Things kids, the most popular show on Netflix right now, signed by Tina Fey, signed by me, but I'm Tina. So I've got my American Express card in one hand and I'm signing with the other. And, you know, it is what it is. They could have done that with it. Instead, they whine and they moan and complain, and it's a bit, people. Oh, my God. All right. So we got our break coming up. After the break, I do have some Star Wars news that I'm going to talk about. Bob Iger, the Disney CEO, has decided to talk about Rogue One. And then I've got some video game news that I want to get to after that as well. There's some news coming up about Grand Theft Auto 6 I don't think y'all are going to be happy with. So we're going to get to that after the break. And, of course, the Sarlacc Pit. We're going to throw people into the Sarlacc Pit, too, which is always fun. It's a riot. It really is. So don't forget to stay tuned for that. We'll be right back after the bottom of the hour news break. Alrighty, so if you missed the first half of the show, no worries, because we do have the podcast at 9:30 a.m. theanswer.com. You can also find our previous guest interviews up there, as well as previous shows. Don't forget, in October, we will have Tim Rose, we'll have Jeremy Bullock and Amy Jo Johnson, and a couple of cosplayers as well to talk about Alamo City Comic-Con all month long.
Now, is that all going to be in one show, or are you going to spread it out?
No, we're going to spread it out.
Okay.
We got one a week coming on.
That's pretty cool.
I'm still working on dates, getting people to confirm. Jeremy Bullock and Tim Rose are in the United Kingdom, so it's kind of a 6-hour time difference. I'm trying to work out when I'm going to interview them, but we'll have that going on as well. We haven't got any word on where Goose is yet.
No.
You know, we checked during the break.
I texted him. I called him.
I don't get it. I mean, I appreciate you filling in, Kelly. You're doing a fantastic job. I do. Thank you.
But it's not the same without Goose, right?
It never is. For one thing, it's quieter. He's not playing the Star Trek theme 85,000 times. By the way, if you're watching on Facebook Live, I want to say thank you for doing so very much. That's at facebook.com/GYGOofficial, where I put up a bunch of hilarious memes. There's a lot of good pictures up there that I throw around, some good videos. The Facebook page is a lot of fun. Plus, that's where the Sarlacc Pit is, and any giveaways that I do will be done on that page as well. With that being said, we want to dive right into some Star Wars news.
I'm looking forward to completing your training. In time, you will call me Master.
Nice little remix in there. Very cool. Alrighty. So Star Wars news. This segment brought to you by our friends over at Geeks Speak. That's mygeeksnews.com. If you've ever been to the Drudge Report, this is kind of along the same template, but it's only for geeks. It's Star Wars, Star Trek. It's a whole bunch of geeky news. It's no clickbait either. It's none of that nonsense where it's like, you'll never believe what Harrison Ford did next, and you have to click, and then you get viruses or whatever. Yeah. No, it's legit news. So you want to check out our friends over at mygeeksnews.com. You can also subscribe to their website, and they will send mail as news as it breaks right to your email, and they never, ever, ever sell your email address at mygeeksnews.com. Okay, so Bob Iger, the Disney CEO, president, chairman of the board, guru, high muckety muck, the head mouse himself, he came out and he talked before The Force Awakens, and he hyped it up, and he said how awesome it was, and he was on set, and it was fantastic. He loved every minute of it. Wow, couldn't be happier. Well, now he's not really saying that about Rogue One. In fact, he is downplaying all sorts of expectations. He's tempering everything, which makes sense. Anybody who thinks that Rogue One is going to experience the same success as The Force Awakens, you're out of your frickin' mind. It simply can't happen.
Right.
It's not possible. The Force Awakens was done, we had a decade drought of Star Wars. Yes, we had the Clone Wars cartoon, which was fine. It won Emmys. It was a solid show, but it wasn't on the big screen. It had 1 million or so viewers. We had a few books coming out, but nothing really substantial. We had a drought of Star Wars. And not only that, but now we had Harrison Ford back. We had Carrie Fisher back. We had Mark Hamill. We had all these new actors, and Daisy Ridley is freaking adorable.
Yes.
And if we ever get her here in studio, I will die. And it's the hype around The Force Awakens was tremendous, and it made $2 billion at the box office, as it should. Now we're inundated with Star Wars everywhere. Right. Walmart has freaking Star Wars slippers and Star Wars toothpaste.
Everything.
It's merchandising, like they said in Spaceballs the movie. You have Star Wars the lunchbox, Star Wars the cereal, Star Wars the flamethrower. The kids will love it.
Well, I can't take my 7-year-old down that aisle.
Oh, no.
He's like, I want this. I said, okay.
It is. It's incredible. And of course, I'm kind of guilty. I wandered down that aisle myself sometimes.
I did too.
Checking a few things out here and there. There are Funko Pops of Star Wars all over the place. It's incredible. But now, Rogue One, don't expect it to be the box office success that The Force Awakens was. Now, that doesn't mean it's going to be a bad movie. It's not going to go all Suicide Squad on us where it's all hype and then it flops, critically speaking. All sizzle, no steak, that sort of a thing. But Bob Iger wants to make it very clear that no one at Disney is expecting this. And he's doing this for two reasons. One is he doesn't want people to come out and say, oh, see, Disney can't do Star Wars, which they're not doing Star Wars anyway. It's all Lucasfilm. Shut up about Disney doing Star Wars. But secondly, also, so that when it only makes like $1.1 billion at the box office, the shareholders don't freak out because they were expecting a $2 billion movie. I mean, because it's not going to happen. This is what CEOs do in advance. They come out and they lower the expectations, and they lower. Like Trump at a debate, you lower the expectations as low as they can go. It's better to be pleasantly surprised than horribly disappointed.
Right.
He also said something interesting, something that's really it's in the not too distant future, but it'll be around the corner before we know it. He announced that he's talking to Kathleen Kennedy, who, in my opinion, is the most powerful woman in Hollywood. She runs Lucasfilm. She's the president of all things Lucasfilm, and he's talking to her about Star Wars movies beyond 2021.
Interesting.
Okay, so what does this mean? Because Episode 9 comes out, and we thought that we're done, but... of course, Disney wants to make as much money as they can, which is why there are 85,000 Marvel movies. Right. And there will be more Marvel movies in the following decade. But now we're going to have Star Wars movies beyond 2021. So the question is, are these going to be spin-off movies, or are these going to be another full-blown trilogy? Are we looking at episodes 10 through 12?
Through 12, yeah.
And nobody really knows. Probably not even Kathleen Kennedy knows. They just want to talk about, what do you want to do? What's the viability? Because I don't even know if they've completely fleshed out episode 9 yet. Right. So I don't think they want to talk 10 through 12.
Well, what is your guess if it were?
If it were my guess, if I had, I've always been a big proponent of the Old Republic.
Right.
I think there are a lot of stories, a lot of characters there. There's a lot of untrod ground in the Old Republic. Nomi Sunrider, Ulic Keldroma. There are so many stories that just haven't been told yet that I think deserve to be told. I think that should be told, and it'd be fresh ground. It's set thousands and thousands of years before what we know as Star Wars. I think it would be tremendous to see a trilogy based off of that. And what's interesting is that it would be a standalone trilogy, which Star Wars has never had. And in fact, a lot of people... It's rare to see that happen. I think, well, you could say that Star Trek has its own standalone trilogy with the J.J. Abrams movies. Well, you could do episode 10 through 12, but it's not chronologically 10 through 12. Instead, it would be Old Republic 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
Because I just don't know what they would do after episode 9 if they wanted to continue the story beyond that. I mean, then you get into Star Wars The Next Generation, and Patrick Stewart comes in, and Jonathan Frakes comes in, and you're like, wait a minute, I've seen this before. You start having, talking androids on the show, and you're like, wait a minute. Then the Borg come in, and you're, whoa, huh? I do also think there'll be, of course, more spinoffs.
Right.
And I've been on record before saying I don't want a Yoda spinoff. They have yet to tell Yoda's history, his background, his last name. It's just Yoda, like Cher and Madonna. It's just Yoda. That's all it is. And I've been on the record before as saying I don't want to know his background. I don't want to know his history. I don't need to know who his college roommate was. I don't need to see a young Yoda. I don't need to know what planet he's from. I don't need this. I really don't. I don't care enough to care about it. Plus, I think there's something to be said for keeping it a mystery.
Absolutely.
I think there's something to be said in that less is more, and that you need some subtlety, as opposed to, some people are saying that not only should there be an Obi-Wan Kenobi movie, but it should explore his background and his origin story. And I'm like, why? We had 3 whole movies and a cartoon show about Obi-Wan Kenobi. I think we've seen enough Kenobi. But we have to know what he did on Tatooine. How did he wash his socks on Tatooine? What did he do on a Wednesday? Did he walk up a dune? Did he walk sideways on it? We have to know these things.
Was it Sloppy Joe Wednesdays?
Oh, yeah, there you go. What would he do for Throwback Thursday? I'm just kind of wondering there. Take the lightsaber out of the trunk and say, yeah, this is the weapon I used to hack Anakin in half. I remember that. Good times, man. That was good stuff. I don't want a Yoda origin story, but it looks like it might be coming this way. Here's the part that scares me to death is that a Yoda comic may be coming around the corner, written by Jason Aaron and with art from Darth Vader's Salvador Larroca. The issue will not just be Luke's first true encounter with Yoda, but will explore a period of Yoda's backstory rarely explored. A tale set before the events of the Phantom Menace. It's a chance to explore Yoda not as a warrior or teacher, but simply a Jedi amongst many. Okay. Yeah, this is going to piss me off here. I'm not going to lie. First of all, apparently what happens is that it's all like told in flashback. Apparently Luke is rummaging through Obi-Wan's stuff on Tatooine and comes across, I guess, a comic book or something because he's going to read the tales of Yoda there in Obi-Wan's hut. And it's going to talk about him being, again, not just a master or a teacher or a mentor, but a Jedi amongst many. So let me preface this. When I saw Attack of the Clones in the theater, 2002, I thought it was really cool when Yoda walked into the hangar bay and was going to fight Count Dooku. I was like, oh man, we're going to see Yoda fight. And then he took out a lightsaber and started jumping around like a frog on meth. And I was like, wait, what's he doing? No.
Frog on meth?
Yeah. He's just boing, 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 boing. He's doing flips and kicks when he's like nowhere near Dooku. And I'm like, what? No. What? He takes out this little baby-sized lightsaber. He's just going to town. And then after the fight, he picks up his cane and limps away. And I'm like, whoa, wait.
What did I just see?
What? And what drives me crazy is that we never see Yoda in the prequels do anything spectacular. In Episode 5, what made Yoda great was that he taught us what the Force really was. We didn't know what it was in 1980. We had no clue. Right. But he doesn't do anything that makes him any different from any other Jedi in the prequels. They lowered Yoda to the level of he's just another guy with a glow stick. Yeah. That's all he is. Oh, but he took out all those clone troopers in Revenge of the Sith. Yeah, so did every other Jedi. Well, at least the ones that didn't get shot in the back or anything. But they were taking out droids like it was nothing. So Yoda has been lowered to the level of, he's just another guy. Yeah. That's it. And they did the same thing with Palpatine, too, in Revenge of the Sith. He took out a lightsaber and went to town. Sure, he killed Jedi, but so did clone troopers. And they lowered Palpatine to just another guy with a glow stick. Yeah. That's all he was. He didn't use any super cool Force powers. In fact, the best part of his fight with Yoda was when they threw the Senate at each other because they used the Force. There were no lightsabers involved. That was awesome. I loved that part. And then they go back to swinging lightsabers at each other. I'm like, great. It's just another duel. Who cares? Not only that, but it's a duel between two characters that has no tension because I know what's going to happen.
Right.
It's not like, George is going to pull a fast one and have Yoda kill Palpatine. Because I'm pretty sure he's in 5 and 6 later on. I'm pretty sure Palpatine's not going to kill Yoda, so there's no tension. And they lowered him. And what was awesome about Palpatine was in Episode 6, he was so above Vader and Luke. Okay, fine. You two play with your lightsabers. I'm going to just sit here and be awesome because I don't need a lightsaber. In fact, he kind of makes fun of Luke when he says, yes, a Jedi's weapon. You want this, right? You want your little lightsaber? Yeah, you want that? Yeah. I don't care. Go for it.
Go for it. Give it a shot.
Yeah. Like you're going to get close up to me anyway because I'm Palpatine. I mean, come on. But instead, no, Revenge of the Sith, they have him pull out a lightsaber too and go to town, and it's just, don't do anything cool with the Force. No. Let's not be original. No. No, everyone's got to swing around a stinking lightsaber. And so now we're going to get a Yoda backstory. And again, they even admitted it. The writer admits that he's going to be just another Jedi. A Jedi amongst many is the exact quote, and it drives me crazy. You're lowering Yoda even more. Now he's going to get marching orders from somebody before the Phantom Menace. And he's just going to be a guy out doing his thing. Maybe he'll show a flash of brilliance or whatever, but he's just another Jedi.
Just another Jedi.
There's nothing special about Yoda anymore. So now if you read this comic and then you watch the prequels and you get to episode 5 and you're like, who's this guy? Why isn't he doing flips and kicks when he didn't even train Luke with the lightsaber? Right. At no point in Luke's training on Empire Strikes Back did Yoda ever even mention a lightsaber.
Right.
He didn't ask, so, hey, do you have one of the glow sticks of destiny over there? Or, how are you going to fight Vader? I'm just curious. Are you going to stick a magnet on his forehead? Or, what are you going to do? Because Magneto's not around, so I don't know how you're going to take him on. But instead, now he's just another Jedi. It drives me crazy. And now we have a continuity issue. Because if Luke is reading about Yoda, well, they didn't say where, I guess, but if it's sometime in A New Hope or before he actually meets Yoda, he sure seemed pretty surprised on Hoth when Obi-Wan Kenobi told him, hey, you got to go to Dagobah and learn from Yoda. And he's like, who?
Who? Yeah.
Yoga? You want me to learn yoga? Well, I'm doing Pilates now with Carrie Fisher,
Got to wear the yoga pants?
Yeah. You must learn from Yoda while wearing yoga pants and doing Pilates.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm doing these Pilates with Princess Leia over here. Yeah, she's really hot. No, stay away from her. Dude, have you seen Carrie Fisher in yoga pants? No, Luke, stay away from her.
Trust me.
I'm just saying, bro. Yeah, so, all right, so we'll have the Yoda comic, and that's just grand and everything, but I just...
Enough already?
Just enough. All right. Speaking of enough already, some interesting news has come out about Grand Theft Auto 6. Part of it's rumor, part of it's news, part of it's speculation, but let's go ahead and let's talk some video games here, shall we? It's another good theme. I like this one.
I do too. I like it.
I keep forgetting that Kelly, he's the new guy because we don't know where Goose is. So this is all new to him. If you've been listening to the show for any length of time, you're like, we know this song. But,
yeah.
Alrighty. So something interesting happened at the PlayStation meeting in New York City recently. Rockstar Games wasn't there at all. They didn't even show up. This is kind of interesting because Rockstar Games announced Grand Theft Auto 6 at E3 earlier this year. And this is it. I mean, PlayStation, this meeting is supposed to be huge. It's epic. It's a coming out party. And they weren't even there. They didn't even send a spokesperson.
Not even a whisper.
Nothing. There was nothing. No rumors, just nothing. So now there's a lot of speculation that Rockstar Games has canceled GTA 6.
Whoa.
Yeah. I'm sorry, San Antonio. I should have prefaced that because if you're driving right now, listening to us on the radio, you may have just swerved off the road. There's a lot of speculation that GTA 6 has come to a screeching halt and has been canceled. There hasn't been any update since E3. They bailed on the meeting entirely. There's been no news, nothing. There's been some speculation about where it would be, where it would take place, but just a whole lot of nothing. Now, this would come out as a huge blow to fans. Not only just to fans, but to Rockstar's bottom line. GTA 5 came out in 2013. It broke 7 records. And those 7 records were global. These were across the planet. They were the best-selling action video game in 24 hours.
24 hours.
24 hours. They were the best
moly.
one. The best selling overall video game, 24 hours. Fastest entertainment property to gross $1 billion. Fastest video game to gross $1 billion. The highest grossing video game in 24 hours. Highest revenue generated by an entertainment product in 24 hours. And the most viewed trailer for an action-adventure video game. I play GTA 5 all the time. Yeah. Now, I don't PvP. I just don't. And I don't even play the story anymore. What I do is I hijack those big dump trucks and I run people off the road. I pull up alongside a car and just, I run them right off the road or, slam them into a tree or something. I find it strangely therapeutic. I don't know what that says about me, but it's just a lot of fun to see how long I can last before the cops show up. And the dump truck is best to avoid cops because they can't shoot out your tires. Yeah. And every time they try to run you off the road, I'm a dump truck, dude. I'm sorry, your little squad car is not going to do it.
Can't do the pit maneuver on you, right?
No. Well, they do try. They set spike traps ahead of you,
yeah.
and so you got to maneuver your way into the dirt, which slows you down. Or they'll eventually they'll bring out the giant like armored cars filled with guys who have automatic weapons. Eventually, I'll die, but it's still a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun, and that's pretty much what I do with my time now on GTA. But it's immense fun. It has been, and GTA has been. It's like I said. I mean, it's been a shockingly popular game. So to hear that it's possible that Grand Theft Auto 6 may be canceled altogether by Rockstar, that's going to come as a huge blow to really a lot of people. Now, this is speculation. Okay, let me just preface that. This is speculation. It's, it hasn't been confirmed. In fact, there seems to be a lot of conflicting reports in that GTA 6 has just been delayed. But I'm reading right now, let's see here. The International Business Times says that Grand Theft Auto 6 is canceled. Mobile and Apps magazine wants to know if it's canceled for good. Let's see here. N4BB says that it's been delayed, not canceled. Forbes magazine is saying that it has been canceled. University Herald says it's been pushed back, and so on and so forth. So,
but for them not to make that PlayStation meeting,
it's really ominous.
Yeah.
It really is. Now, that could also mean that it's just been delayed and not canceled. Or it could just mean that they just don't want to show up and have the question be asked, are you canceling the game?
Right.
Because if you're delaying it, you just put out a press release. Hey, guys, look, we're doing a lot of great things with GTA 5. We're going to wait on GTA 6 for a while we focus on GTA 5.
Right.
But there's no press statement. There's no release.
They haven't come out and said anything.
They haven't come out and said anything. There's nothing. It's dead silence from Rockstar Games, which only fuels the hype, which only fuels the speculation that GTA 6 is dead in the water, which would be really, really sad. I mean,
well, not only that, but also the windfall they had with 5.
Yeah, there's too much money.
That's way too much money.
Way too much money.
Drop it.
Yeah, I mean, it would be like following up The Force Awakens with, we're not making any more Star Wars movies.
Yeah, we're done.
We're done. Yeah, Episode 8 canceled.
Yeah.
Rogue One, yeah, we thought about it. Not doing it. We're just not, nope. God almighty. Oh, my goodness. All right, so what we're going to do here now, if my computer will load for me a little bit faster there, is we're going to move on to everyone's favorite segment in the last couple of minutes here, and that is the Sarlacc Pit.
What's going on?
We just got to the Sarlacc Pit.
What's that?
It's this disgusting, horrible creature that's worse than anything you could ever imagine.
I love that one.
That's great.
All right, so for the Sarlacc Pit, I'm throwing in the entire state of Arkansas. Arkansas is playing my beloved Texas A&M Aggies at Jerry World this weekend, and Arkansas, yeah, I'm putting the whole thing in. Do you know what the state motto of Arkansas is?
No, what's it?
At least we're not Mississippi.
Oh, that's it.
You know what the state motto of Mississippi is?
At least we're not Arkansas?
Thank God for Alabama. And with that, we've lost every listener in the South.
I was going to say, there goes everybody in the South.
Okay, all right. I don't know if you know, but what we do is we have a little Wilhelm scream that we like to do for this. Should be in there somewhere. It's the, ah! Well, no, maybe.
Oh, yes, I do.
Oh, okay. All right. So there it is. All right. So what I do is I say put them in, and you play that sucker right there. So for me, for the entire state of Arkansas, put them in. You have anybody you want to throw in?
No.
Nobody really annoying you? Other than Goose, because we don't know where he is.
I was going to say, he's. I'm worried about him.
Yeah, that's...
So, Goose, we're going to throw you in.
There we go. Put him in. Goose, actually, he commented on the Facebook page on the 19th, so it wasn't recent or anything. He says he wants to throw in any Austin taco makers who think they would build a better taco than those in San Antonio. That's right. We're going to put those guys in. You don't... No, Austin,
don't mess with us.
You don't do that. The last time we had a taco war with Austin, they didn't even show up. That was the fun part. All right. So Samantha Bowser is on the Facebook page, facebook.com/GYGO official, wants to throw in Caitlin Holloway, who bullied her in kindergarten. Absolutely. Put her on in. Let's see. Charles Keller wants to throw in, he's way up in Canada, wants to throw in clickbait websites that try and claim legitimacy by having an address close to a legit site. I say, put them in. Let's see. I love Matthew Campbell says, I only get one person. Yeah, you can always put in more than one person. That's certainly not a problem. Let's see here. Oh, I do want to preface this by saying I don't bother with celebrities or politicians because I'd spend the whole show throwing.
Yeah, I was going to say the whole thing.
Too many that deserve it. So, alrighty. I do want to give a special shout out and thanks to Grawlix CMS. If you are a web artist or you are an artist in general, want to get your stuff to the web, you want to check out www.getgrawlix.com to get your art to the internet faster, easier, more efficient, so it's user friendly and not user frustrating. Our Geek of the Week is going to be Joshua Vick. I want to give a big shout out to him. A Bama fan, we'll kind of overlook that one. So, gig 'em, Josh. All righty, and I think that'll go ahead and wrap it up for us here. Don't forget, we do have the podcast up at 9:30 a.m. theanswer.com. Check out our Facebook page at facebook.com/GYGO official. Don't go to the fakers. You go to the official one for all your geeky needs. Stay geeky out there, and remember to get your geek on every day.